good Thursday morning to you. It's the 15th of September 2011. This morning's United Kingdom talk. I'm Chris Reardon. Been waiting in all day yesterday for a supposedly re-delivered parcel. What happened on Tuesday? I went swimming, came back, and there was one of those cards in the door, you know, tried to deliver. So I cycled down to the post office. And they said, oh, he's not back yet. Do you want to come back later or what? I said, can he re-deliver tomorrow? Yeah, that's okay, fine. Well, tomorrow's come and got no parcel. How I not? Do you know what I mean? And I stayed in all day. I didn't go swimming, didn't leave the house, left the front door open in case the bell didn't work, all those sort of things. And it didn't arrive. That does annoy me, doesn't it? Anyway, I feel quite lucky to be here today. Because Tuesday night, on the way home, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming along a road, Upper Richmond Road is the name of the road, okay? I'm coming along the Upper Richmond Road, which is just on the outskirts of London, just, you know, almost at the end of London. And there's a junction with Clarence Lane in the sort of Richmond area. And on the way there, I thought I'll stop. I fancy a couple of bags of crisps. So I stopped in the petrol garage, got a couple of bags of crisps. There were some undesirable young men in there, shall we say. Okay, and they were mucking about with the shopkeepers and saying, you know, things weren't the price they were and all this. Anyway, I got my stuff and left quickly. So I've eaten a bag of crisps on the way home and then opened a second bag of crisps. And the lights were red, okay, at this particular junction. Once again, junction of Upper Richmond Road, which is it's either 3 or 4 lanes there, okay. I'm in the first lane, okay. Was I in the first? No, I'm in the second lane. I'm in the second lane. 4 lanes, Upper Richmond Road, right? And Clarence Lane, which goes, not Clarence Lane, oh, I can't remember the name of it now. What is it? Did I tell you what it was at the beginning? I don't know. Anyway, a single lane road going right across it. Both are busy during the day. 1 o'clock in the morning, not very busy. So lights are red. I've opened a bag of crisps. As I've opened the crisps, the lights have gone yellow and then green. I looked in the rearview mirror. There was no one behind me at all, and I thought, I just have a handful of crisps. So, without taking off, even though the lights were green, I shoved in my mouth a mouthful of crisps. And then I had a second mouthful of crisps. And I thought, all right then, off we go. Between 5 and 8 seconds will have passed since those lights went green. As I got to the junction, and I took off quite slowly, I'm not a mad driver, not anymore anyway, not since I got a bit older. I took off quite slowly, and as I got to the part where the road crosses over, a juggernaut went straight across me at about 30 miles an hour. Huge juggernaut. Me, small Toyota Aygo. And I thought, God, that was dangerous. That's all I thought. I give him a hoot as he came across. I was going that slowly that I didn't actually need to touch the brake. Do you know what I mean? I was really going quite slowly. I wasn't in a rush to get home. I never am now. I stick to 50 miles an hour all the way home. You get a hell of a lot more miles per gallon by doing that. I actually get an extra 2 trips in and out of London by sticking to that speed. Anyway, as I continued going on, I suddenly realised how lucky I'd just been. Had I have taken off, immediately the lights went green, or within indeed 5 seconds of them going green, I would probably now be dead. There's no way, I don't think, I would have survived a juggernaut going over the top of my car, unless, of course, I was just pushed to one side. And I do feel quite lucky to be sitting here today. And before you ask, no, I didn't take his number. I kind of brushed it off as one of those things, but it wasn't, was it? It was a very, very lucky thing. So there's no lesson to be learned there, really. You know, it's nothing I did wrong. I can't believe such a long period of time passed between the lights going red for him and him crossing over that crossroads. Thought I'd share that with you. Have you got any stories like that? Stories where you feel something could have finished you off, but it didn't. Maybe someone was looking down from me, looking down on me and thinking, no, it's not his time yet. And that's why I hesitated. I hesitated at the lights. I don't usually. Okay, I don't tear off, but as soon as the lights go green, whoosh, I'm off. I feel very, very lucky to be here with you. If you've got any stories like that at all, it doesn't necessarily have to be vehicles, perhaps something that you've survived, that you feel you shouldn't have, and you're very, very lucky to still be here, then send it over in an email and let's have a look at it, okay? Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. That's my email address. Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. All right, then, email time, boys and girls. Zach sent this in on the 7th of September. Who was saying about the ride. I showed you a couple of pictures of a ride in Vegas, the Stratosphere. And I showed you a couple of pictures. Zach says, that ride you show doesn't surprise me. America is like that. A very, very scary ride at the top of a very tall building that I guarantee I won't be getting on. We're also talking about the floods in Australia in January. The floods in Queensland covered over 75% of the state. And Queensland is the second largest state in America. And he says, I think that means 13 million? 819,482 square kilometres were affected by it all. I'm not good with numbers, so I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. He then says, do you have a tax as well? I don't really think it does much good, because the people affected by the tax would just transfer their tax to the consumer. Bit of rubbish to me. Mind you, I think that tax brought out after the floods and cyclones this year is fair enough. Oh, I see. You mean, do I pay tax on what? You're not very clear with the question there, Jack. You need to tell me a bit much. That's not making sense. Okay. Do you have a tax? A tax on what? Don't know what you're going on about. Zach says, I'd like to give a cooking show a go, but I must inform you that some of the material used in the making of said pizza would not please your vegetarianism. But I must try to do one for the fun of it. Zach, try and do a cookery show, okay? And we'll show that. If you try and do that, I promise I'll show that on this show, all right? Sean says, I can't believe you don't like the In-Betweeners movie. I'm going to purchase you the box set. No, thank you, Sean. Please don't purchase me the rubbish known as the In-Betweeners. No, thank you very much. Sean also noticed on one of the previous shows that I didn't close the door in the Mirable studio. Don't need to. Why would I need to close the door? There's no one else in the house. Only me and Katie. Thank you very much. Neptune, DLD, said he enjoyed seeing the eye candy. What, Simon? In the cookery show, was it on Monday? You enjoyed that, didn't you? Yes. He should be back, hopefully, to do an apple pie at some point. Jesse BT says on the subject when I was planting my seeds the other week, make sure Miss Katie doesn't eat any of your seeds. Don't want her getting sick. I doubt that she'll eat. She's very fussy eater, Katie. Aren't you, darling? She's on the lap today. Resting as usual. Carl says, I can't believe you said you don't like modern sitcoms due to their sexual innuendo content, but then you say you prefer the old ones like Are You Being Served, with its constant references to Mrs. Slocum's pussy, etc. I don't generally watch sitcoms myself, but one I really do like is called Not Going Out, which I don't know actually, which stars Tim Vine. I think you'd like it. DVD box set's available, and it's always being shown on Dave. Well, I don't know if I can get Dave actually. I've only got Freeview at the moment. I had to take down the Freesat satellite dish because it was attached to the end of the shed, and of course the shed is now gone. Sexual innuendos, yeah, well, yes, but I find them much more direct on modern programmes, don't you? Rather than beat around the bush, make it up in your own, they're much more direct on modern sitcoms, and that's what I don't like. And finally today, Richard says, why did you not sing We Sow the Fields and Scatter while you were doing the seeds? I should have done that, you're right, Richard. I was so disappointed. And it was me that saved you almost £30 on the bike. It made my day to get a mention 3 times on 2 shows. Well, it's the 4th time now. Thank you, Chris, and I was so glad it worked on your bike. Good luck with the garden, from Richard in Croydon. So, finally for you, Richard, we plough the fields and scatter the good seed on the land, and it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank you, Lord, for all your love. Is that what you wanted, Richard? I bet you that takes you back to the school days of assembly, does it? Thanks very much for watching and listening, boys and girls. I'm going to Ronnie's tomorrow, so I may not have time to do a show, okay? But if not, well, I'll see you on the next show. Email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.